Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Radio Public, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 59 available now. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just watched Army of the Dead. It's the new zombie apocalypse action, not necessarily heist movie, directed by Zack Snyder. It stars Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick, Garrett Dillahunt, Hiroyuki Sanada, some people that I don't want to butcher their names, but I want them to get the shine that they deserve, like Matthias Schweihofer, the German dude who worked with the Locks. I know that's a bad pronunciation. Theo Rossi is in this, from Sons of Anarchy, from Luke Cage. I'm blanking on the badass French girl who is like the Coyote, is what they call her. Like I said, it's directed by Zack Snyder. He's directed Dawn of the Dead 2004, 300, Watchmen, The Legend of the Guardian, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's the only Justice League he's directed. I have no shout out because this is only on Netflix. Netflix doesn't really release their streams and all of that. So, no shout out for next weekend's reviews. You got Dave Bautista. Since this zombie apocalypse has started, he has a reputation. Hiroyuki Sanada. I hope I'm saying his name right, man. He was just in Mortal Kombat. He is a wealthy individual who has some belongings inside of the city of Las Vegas, but the city of Las Vegas is full of zombies and it is cordoned off, and he needs Bautista to put a team together, which Omari Hardwick, everybody else ends up being a part of, and Ana de la Rugera is also in there. Hey, it's a lot of good actors that aren't American, and I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of their names, but they're in this movie. Tig Notaro too, and they're a part of the team. He gets them together to go into this zombie-filled vault to get the contents of what the dude needs, and you can imagine what happens. I am a Zack Snyder fan, man, so I was excited for this movie, and I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It is a highly flawed plot. It is 2.5 hours long. No, like, I just said this with Cherry, with Tom Holland, like 2 months ago. This movie had no business being as long as The Dark Knight. No zombie movie needs to be as long as Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But in Zack Snyder's defense, there's nothing, because it's like sports. Oh, so-and-so should have made the All-Star team. So-and-so should have made the playoffs. Who are you going to take out? Who shouldn't have made the playoffs or made the All-Star team to get a shorter runtime for this movie? What would you have taken out? There's nothing really that stands out to me like, oh yes, this was unnecessary. I thought the movie was necessary. Theo Rossi, there's a camp of still human people. Theo Rossi is a certain type of individual, and then something happens to him later on in the movie, and it's like, okay, yes, I can see why this happened. A led to B. There are things that occur in this movie that I wouldn't have taken out. So I thought, like, I like Dave Bautista as an actor. I thought he was cool as a pro wrestler, because like that was when like my interest like I watched WWF way back in the day, like 20 some odd years ago, when he was just coming in. I thought he was cool. And then like 10 some odd years ago, I tried to get back into WWE, and I think he was there. Maybe it was around the time Riddick came out, just before Guardians of the Galaxy. And I just couldn't get into it because I don't think that a lot of pro wrestlers these days have like the microphone promo skills that a Stone Cold, that The Rock, that Undertaker, that DX had. But as a public figure, I think Dave Bautista is a cornball. Like he be commenting on shit just to get a reaction, and it might be how he genuinely feels, and that's all good. But he be doing corny shit. But so like he was fine as the lead. But in Dave Bautista's defense, like I'm not trying to shit on Dave Bautista, at the same point in their acting careers, like The Rock is my man. Like I've been a fan of The Rock since I was like 12 years old. SummerSlam against Triple H in Madison Square Garden, Intercontinental title ladder match. But The Rock came out and he's like, the Mummy Returns, Scorpion King. Then he come out with like The Rundown, Doom, Be Cool. Bautista came out the gate. Yeah, he had like a couple little hiccups. Man with the Iron Fist, Riddick, where he wasn't front and center. But as soon as Guardians of the Galaxy hit, he was in a James Bond movie. He's about to be in 2. He was in 1. He about to be in a second Denis Villeneuve movie. He got a Zack Snyder, and I'll give him props for that too. Dave Bautista was offered a role in James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, and he turned it down to work with Zack Snyder. That's dope to me that he took a chance working with a new director. So like I think his filmography is shitting on The Rock's at the same point in their career. Now Bautista still got the better career, but he got like smaller sample size. He's a solid lead. I didn't love him, but I don't think he was bad. I thought like I watched Power, so I like Amari Hardwick. I thought he was good in his role. The German dude Matthias Schweighöfer. I don't speak German. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of names like that. He was annoying, but he served a purpose. He was a good character, but he was incredibly annoying. Ella Purnell was good. Anna de la Reguera was good. Like, there are good characters, and there are so many characters, like, the time does get filled. I like that Zack Snyder does something different with the zombies than you might see on The Walking Dead or whatever other zombie content there is out there. But there are holes in the plot. And like I'm not gonna spoil nothing and like call the holes out, but there are holes in the narrative. Like, and I don't feel like there was an urgency there. Like, it's 2.5 hours and it's a zombie movie. Like, zombie movies are normally short, I'm sorry, so you can feel the tension and feel the urgency. Like, you're rolling with these characters, you're into the story, but I don't feel like the urgency was there to get in and out. And there was something that happened, like a character does something that starts a chain of events that was never gonna be avoided, but could have maybe been avoided. I don't know, like, it's good. It doesn't do anything to push the zombie genre forward, but it's good. And the way it ends, I guess there might be potential for a sequel. I'm not sure, man. With all that being said, in my opinion, I will say that Army of the Dead is almost dope. It's a very low 3.5. I almost want to give it a 3, but it's also, I don't think, my least favorite Zack Snyder movie. I've given all of his movies a 3.5, at least a 3.5. So I don't know. Check my letterbox, man, because by the time I type out that review, I might give this a 3, and it might be my least favorite Zack Snyder movie. I have to think about it. Have you seen Army of the Dead, man? What you think about it? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. Next weekend, I want to watch Cruella, and I want to watch A Quiet Place Part 2. I have recently put up reviews for Spiral from the Book of Saw, Those Who Wish Me Dead, Justice Society, World War II, and Wrath of Man. In June, I hope to watch and review Spirit Untamed. I don't know if it's a sequel to DreamWorks' Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, but it's in the same family. And then June 11th, I don't know if there's anything I'm gonna watch, but we'll see. Stay tuned. You know, like we're at the end of this pandemic, I hope. So the movie release schedule is still shaking up. I don't know what I'm gonna watch, but if I watch it, I'm gonna be on here with y'all. So episode 59 Rec League Podcast, me and my guy Nick Goodman talk about the Saw franchise. Please check that out, man. It's a fun conversation, and I would love to know what y'all think. So like, subscribe, comment, find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.